is July 29th, Monday, 12:09 p.m. This is my morning video. Actually, it's kind of afternoon. I wanted to make it much earlier, but there are things I had to take care of, one thing after another. But then I did want to make sure that I continue with my practice, because this is part of my mindfulness practice. This is something that keeps me on track to with this practice, because the constant something that we need the consistency, right? The consistency is the key. So I'm trying to make sure I keep the consistency, and even if it is not too long, I still want to do it. And maybe that's what I should have done, a smaller one instead of waiting for it. And again, I think that is also the mindfulness practice. I need to get better at it, where they say last night I was listening to a talk on Insight Timer. I forgot the person's name, and she talked about, it was an enlightening talk. She talked about when we accept things, it's a good thing, but accepting is only part of it. Where we can get to a better state is by surrendering. Because with acceptance, which I was also thinking that sometimes we can accept the things we can control and things we cannot control. However, sometimes there is some lingering thought that goes in our mind. It's like we may have resentment, we may have anger, we may have other kind of unpleasant emotions around it, but when we surrender, it's almost like we are letting it go. So what happens is those challenging, unpleasant emotions don't stick to us. So surrendering it to the universe, surrendering it to our higher self or God, anything that we believe in. So I thought that was a really, really enlightening talk. It was about half hour, and it was really amazing. And then she kept talking about another interesting thing. I thought it was something that can help me also. So which is why I'm trying to capture it, because they say that when we learn something and when we try to talk about it to others, that's when it kind of goes more in our subconscious. We remember it, because when we just hear it, and then when it comes to applying those thoughts or remembering, we forget. So anyway, so that's why I try to capture those moments in these videos. She talked about remind yourself that you are not the center, you're not at the center, but you are part of it. And I thought that was so amazing, right? Because when we try to think about ourselves, that okay, this needs to work, either it's job or family or friends or something, we are thinking that we are the center, even though we are not necessarily consciously thinking about that. But if you think about it, all of our actions are geared towards that generally, that we think that, oh, we are the center. But she says, remind yourself that you are part of it. You are part of it. And that will help you to remember and take things more lightly. And I'll give an example. So yesterday we had fun, Alice and I. If you have seen my videos from yesterday, that we went to a Buddha temple. There was a festival, and she sat there for quite a while, and it was kind of fun. And then from there, we went to a friend's place. Her mom was there, and her little daughter, 1.5-year-old daughter, was there. My friend had something going on, so yesterday she wasn't there, but we had fun. I was chit-chatting with her mom. We're talking about God and different miracles and stuff that, I shouldn't say miracle and stuff, but anyway, what I mean is the good things that happened in their life with believing in God and turning towards God and prayer. So we were talking all about that. So that was very, very nice. And I was telling my friend today that the time was so amazing. I almost felt like that, her mom was like mom. I was like, if it was Mother's Day, I would buy something for her. It was something extraordinary. And I was talking to my mom this morning, and I was telling her that my mom is in India, very far away. I talk to her once in a while with the recent doctor's appointment and stuff. With time difference, I can't really speak to her as often as I used to. So my mom, she said, keep in touch with them, and it's nice that they are there to help you and all of that. Anyway, and then Alice had fun yesterday. So where I was going with that is, I tend to get distracted, and I talk a lot. If you have seen my videos, you know that that's a thing. I do talk a lot. Anyway, so yesterday after I came home, so I did need to make Alice's lunch for school and something for dinner. And as I was doing that, because I was I had fun, at the same time I was a little exhausted and tired also, physically. Emotionally I was feeling really, really good, but physically I was kind of tired. And in our physical body and our mind is very highly interconnected. So Alice was doing this fun voice from some YouTube video, and then sometime when kids do that for a little bit, it's fun, and then after some time it kind of gets to you, and then I'm like, okay, Alice, this is the limit. You got to stop doing that. And that was nice that she did stop doing that. She did good, really, really good yesterday. So where I was going with that story is, so last night when I listened to that on Insight Timer, when the person said that, think that you are not the center, you are part of it. And then she gave an example where she was in a campsite or something, and excuse me, some camping group next to hers, they were playing some music, and it was kind of annoying to her. But when she thought about that I'm not the center, I'm part of it, and suddenly she started liking that song, and she even started dancing about the song. So then when I was listening to that, I was thinking about the experience in the evening when I was cooking. I was tired, and Alice was doing that. I'm like, yeah, that's true. If I reminded myself that I'm part of it, I'm not the center, I think that'll happen. That will make me feel a little less resistant towards it, right? So this morning, the Insight Timer app, when you go to that, every day they have a nice code that shows up first when you log in, and whenever during the day you go there, the code is there. And today's was something around the line of, our suffering comes from two things. One is clinging, another is from something was like worrying, clinging and worrying. Let me actually look at it.